Have you ever wondered what would happen if animals overthrew their farmer and ran their own farm by themselves? No? Well, the answer is communism, apparently. Animal Farm is a book written by George Orwell, originally published in 1945, so about right after World War II ended. It was basically a satirical allegory for the Russian Revolution and Stalinism. It was about these animals on a farm, would you believe it, who overthrow their farmer named Mr. Jones and start running the farm by themselves. Everything's chill for a bit, but then this one pig named Napoleon becomes a crazy dictator, and by the end of the book, everything is basically just like it was when Mr. Jones ran the farm. Over the years, it's had a couple film adaptations. An animated one in 1954, which we'll be looking at today, a live-action one in 1999 made with animatronics provided by the Jim Henson Company that I don't think many people even know exists, and an upcoming CGI animated one that's set to release tomorrow if this video gets out on time. They released a trailer for that one a while ago, and the response was not great. The main criticism was that it didn't seem to be taking the original source material seriously, and we're pointing out the differences in tone and characterization between the original 1954 film and the new 2026 film based on the trailer. The 1999 one just doesn't matter, I guess. I decided I wanted the full picture on Animal Farm before the new movie came out, and read the book and watched the 1954 film. I was planning on watching the 1999 one, but I ran out of time. Now that I know the original story of Animal Farm and the propaganda version, I decided it'd be fun to look at the differences of George Orwell's original novel and the anti-communist propaganda film, and also how they both differ from the new movie. There's actually a new trailer out that's trying to be more tonally accurate, which I appreciate, but I still think it's gonna be a train wreck. Alright, let's do this! Old Tom had fun. E-I-E-I-O. First, let's talk about the background of the 1954 film. It was funded by the Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA, after the rights were bought from George Orwell's widow, Sonia, by people from the Office of Policy Coordination, which was part of the CIA that's job was to fight communism through culture. So they made it completely anti-communism, while the original was more anti-totalitarianism and showed that revolutions are pretty much always for nothing anyway. I watched the movie basically right after I finished the book, so I was able to pick out a bunch of differences that really matter, and some that really don't, and I just thought they were interesting. The most important one would probably be the ending, which was changed because the CIA just really wanted to hammer in the fact that communism is bad. I mean, it was the Cold War, so it makes total sense why these guys would be like, yo, communism will literally kill you and your grandma. Support your local coffee shop. In the book, it ends with the animals looking in the farmhouse at the pigs and humans having a dinner party or whatever. Napoleon announces the farm shall be renamed Manor Farm, like it was when Mr. Jones owned it, and the animals can no longer tell the difference between the pigs and the humans, showing that anyone who leads a revolution will just replace who they're against, and it would ultimately have been for nothing. In the movie, it's just the pigs in the farmhouse, though there's some imagery calling back to the original ending, and all the other animals are like, this sucks, we should do something about it. So they storm the farmhouse and murder all the pigs, and they all live happily ever after. Until they all presumably die, because I highly doubt these guys actually know how to run a farm on their own. The book is always saying that the pigs are the smartest ones, all the other animals are dumb, so I'm sure that worked out well for them, eh? That's probably the most important change in the movie. It's actually a pretty faithful adaptation. There were some smaller changes, like the 7 commandments were cut down to 5, most likely just to save time. The 5th one is all animals are equal, which wasn't actually there in the book, but I guess they put it there because it'd be better to just change it later in the movie instead of having it just appear on the side of the barn like in the book. Like, they scrubbed all the commandments and then just put all animals are equal but some are more equal than others on it. The remaining 4 are no animal shall sleep in a bed, no animal shall drink alcohol, 4 legs good, 2 legs bad, and no animal shall kill another animal. Guess what literally all the pigs end up doing by the end of the movie? Just take a wild guess. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad is a maxim that's created in the book because all the other animals are too dumb to remember all 7 commandments, so they're just like, if you walk on 2 legs, you're dead to literally everyone here. But what about the birds? Well, apparently, wings count as legs.
Wings count as legs.
The other 3 commandments are the only ones changed in the book. Yes, they changed the commandments, so they're the only ones that actually matter, so it makes sense that, you know, they were there. In the beginning of the book, the oldest pig, Old Major, holds a meeting in the barn and says, yo, I had a dream that we rebelled against the humans and our lives were super awesome or whatever. In the movie, I guess he just kind of wakes up one morning and is like, you know what I feel like doing today? Starting a rebellion. And then he immediately dies after giving a speech about it. As I said before, the rest of the movie is pretty much the same as the book, with a healthy dash of anti-communism. This new movie, however, is reportedly going to have a strictly anti-capitalist message, according to these people, which was not the point of the book, at least not fully, so I'm sure that'll go over well. Back to tone stuff, I just want to show you a clip of Napoleon from the new movie and a clip of Napoleon from the 1954 movie.
What does that say?
Laughter House!
That sounds awesome. I love to laugh.
Who else is guilty? Stand up and confess!
Like, it's not even the same character. Of course, the movie isn't out yet, and usually I'm against judging something until it's fully released and we get all the context and stuff. But this time, I'm totally with these people. It does look like it's gonna be a pretty terrible adaptation of the book, and it is adapted from the book, it's said in the trailer. One thing I think is important to point out is how in the trailer there's a sort of market happening at Animal Farm, which never happened. In the book, every time humans came to the farm after the animals took over, there was a literal war. That's not all. It seems like the hens are willingly selling their eggs, which makes absolutely no sense. In the book, they were very openly against the pigs trading their eggs with the humans. They were just getting their clutches ready for the spring sitting, and they protested that to take the eggs away now was murder. Got some conservative hens over here, I see. They literally organized a rebellion where they got the pigs in the barn and dropped a bunch of eggs on them. Then they got deprived of rations and like 9 of them died. Wonder how they're gonna do that in the new movie. Smaller detail, but they changed the commandment from no animal shall drink alcohol to no drinking naughty juice. Really? That's how you know this movie is a kid's movie. Like, a movie made specifically for children. And the 1954 one, that was for kids. That was a kid's movie. I don't know, I guess kids in the 50s were just built different. So that was the first trailer. The second, final trailer they put out does look like it's trying to be more faithful, but the first trailer already happened. I do appreciate this final trailer because it definitely feels more like Animal Farm than whatever the hell this one was. I'm honestly looking forward to seeing how they're going to execute the darker parts of the story, like Snowball getting run out of the farm by the dogs, the animals being executed for their crimes. Boxer's death by getting shipped off to the glue factory. I absolutely love the scene that happens after this when Squealer tells all the animals that Boxer died at the hospital. He was supposed to go there after a rock fell on him. I'm serious, that's what happened. And he's fake crying and he does this.
I was with him right to the end.
And all the animals are just like, okay, dude. That's part of the reason I love old movies like this, because we will never get any animated movie like this ever again. Like, cell animation is dead. It's all CGI now and getting dumbed down for kids. Case in point. I don't think I'll watch this movie when it comes out, but I did actually enjoy the original quite a bit, and I'm sure the live action one was good too. Right? Overall, I think Animal Farm by George Orwell is the only book that should be forced reading in school so kids know what a totalitarian government actually looks like. And that's my ending thought. Also, I will be covering the new Stranger Things show. So don't think I'll forget about that. I will talk about that in a timely manner. Okay, bye.